Week 1, 1-0. Miami Dolphins defeated the New England Patriots 20-7. If you can't tell over my shoulder, for the most part, if I'm here at this setup, you will see the scoreboard right over my shoulder in every post-game review. All right. So, Dolphins defeated New England Patriots 20-7, and pretty much wasn't a doubt. I mean, the Dolphins just want to say steamrolled the Patriots. I mean, if it's not for that touchdown, the Dolphins shut out this New England Patriots team. If not, they have 3 points. Not saying the touchdown was lucky. Just guy caught it, basically rolled into the end zone, and by that point, he's already in. So here's what it is. But what an output by both sides of the ball. But I want to give props definitely to the defensive side of the ball. Damn near shutting out this Patriots team. There were some key moments that the Patriots were able to move the ball and had me a little nervous, but the defense always came through and found a way to either force the Patriots out or, just hold their ground. So I was happy to see that. Now, with all that being said, let's go over some team stats before we get into any individual ones. Dolphins had more yards than the Patriots, 307 to 271. They forced 3 turnovers, scored off of one of them directly. Time of possession, Patriots had 27 minutes, 30 seconds. Dolphins had 32 minutes, 30 seconds. And then first downs, pretty much a dead match. Patriots 17, Dolphins 18. Now, biggest difference was the Patriots defense wasn't able to do really much. I mean, the offense was able to move the ball, but they were able to tighten up once we got past the 50-yard line for the most part. It was a bit concerning, honestly, as a Dolphins fan, just trying to see the offense move the ball. There were some bright spots. I mean, Tyreek Hill is an absolute animal. Just seeing him live in person is just insane, and we'll be able to get to see that for 8 games this year, at least at home. So that's going to be awesome. On the other side of the ball, the defense just lights out, knows what they're doing. So forcing turnovers left and right, it was just absolutely amazing to watch in person. So there are some takeaways from today's game. Love the grittiness of the coaching staff being able to force their hand and attempt to go on 4th down and make Bill Belichick uncomfortable as head coach, which is not really seen as much. So pretty bright spots on pretty much all phases of this Miami Dolphins team. Now, before we go into anything, let's go over some individual stats. We're going to start with the Patriots. Mac Jones went 21 of 30 on completion per attempt, 213 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked twice for a loss of 20 yards. And then we have Tua on the other side with 23 completions, 33 attempts, 270 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, sacked 3 times for a loss of 28 yards. So a few of those sacks we could get rid of, and I think it would be huge because that was one of the key points of the game. I made 2 major points of emphasis for both sides of the ball. Protect Tua, don't allow too much pressure getting to him in the backfield, and then defensively just pressure the hell out of Mac Jones. And I think for sure on the defensive side of the ball we achieved that, and Mac Jones did not look comfortable in the center for, I want to say, like 99% of his snaps. There was one play in specific that I will mention that he had all the guts. Aside from that, just he did not look good to see Dolphin defenders in his face. On the other side of the ball, Tua, just there was a few certain plays, mostly play action that rule out a rusher in with no one blocking him, and it definitely made Tua uncomfortable. So that's some things that the Dolphins need to assure them of and figure out how do we fix this and move forward in the best fashion. All right. Now, rushers, Damon Harris led the Patriots, 9 carries, 48 yards. Ramondre Stevenson, 8 carries, 25 yards. Aside from that, nothing notable from the other guys, Jacoby Myers, Mike Jones, Ty Montgomery. Dolphins, Chase Edmonds, 12 carries, 25 yards, average of 2.1. It was not very good in terms of, getting the most out of your plays, but pretty crucial downs that he was rushing on. Raheem Mostert, 5 carries, 16 yards, and everyone else barely surpassed 10. Overall, neither team cracked 100. We had Patriots 78 overall, Dolphins 65 overall. So not a huge game rushing, but it's not what the game needed. All right. Receiving, Jacoby Myers led the Patriots with 4 receptions, 55 yards. Longest was 27 yards, and that play in specific was insane. I mean, the way that Mac Jones just got the ball, instantly loaded up, and just chucked it to Jacoby Myers, and it was on a rope. It was a nice throw and an even better catch by Jacoby Myers. So I got to give props to him on that one. But aside from that, I mean, Kendrick Bourne had a big one, 41 yards. Jonnu Smith had 3 receptions, 33 yards. Nelson Aguilar, 3 receptions, 28 yards. Hunter Henry, 2 receptions, 20 yards. Aside from that, not much worth mentioning. Then on the Dolphins, Tyreek Hill, 8 receptions, 94 yards. Longest was 26 off of 12 targets. So definitely number one wide receiver there for the Miami Dolphins and Tyreek Hill. Jaylen Waddle, 4 receptions, 69 yards. Longest was 42 yards, which have resulted in a touchdown off of 5 receptions. So got some sure hands there for Jaylen Waddle. Tyreek Hill, he got a little bit more tougher throws his way, but he was able to reel in a good majority of them and make the most of them, honestly. Chase Edmonds, 4 receptions, 40 yards. Cedric Wilson's 2 receptions, 20 yards. And then not much worth mentioning. Mike Gesicki got a target for 1 yard. Not really liking what I'm seeing in terms of Mike Gesicki's role on this team as of late, from what I saw in the preseason to now in this week 1 game. But we'll see what happens. That's all I got to say. All right, fumbles. 2 Patriot fumbles. Nelson Aguilar and Mac Jones both lost fumbles. Was Melvin Ingram recovered one. It was off the sack in Dolphins territory, where Melvin Ingram was able to recover it and take it for a touchdown off of Brandon Jones' sack. And then Colin Williams also recovered a fumble that was dropped by Tua. And let's see, Jalen Phillips recovered the other fumble that was dropped by Nelson Aguilar. So those are some key things that, defensively, Dolphins were able to swarm to the ball and find the way to either force turnovers or just be able to get to the ball when it was loose. So that was just, I found, huge. Defensively, the leading tackle for the Patriots, Jawan Bentley, 7 total tackles, 4 solo, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 QB hit. Devin McCourty, 6 tackles, 6 solo. Kyle Duggar, 6 total, 5 solo, 2 tackles for a loss. Raekwon McMillan, 5 total, 4 solo. And then Matthew Judon, 5 total, 2 solo, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss, and then 4 QB hits, which is actually pretty huge. I mean, the Dolphins did let Judon get in the backfield quite often, and did not look good for Tua, but he was able to manage. Aside from that, Dietrich Weiss had a sack and a QB hit. Adrian Phillips, Mac Wilson Jr. also had tackles for loss. And then Christian Barrymore had a QB hit. Now, on the Dolphins side of the ball, Brandon Jones, quite a game from him. 11 total tackles, 6 solo, 1 sack, 1 pass deflection, 1 QB hit. Jerome Baker followed up with 6 total tackles, 4 solo. Elandon Roberts, 5 total, 3 solo. Christian Wilkins, 5 total, 2 solo, 1 tackle for a loss. Then over some key stats is Emmanuel Ogba got a sack, tackle for a loss, 2 QB hits. Duke Riley got a pass deflection. So did Kader Kohu with also a tackle for a loss. Jaeveon Holland, pass deflection. Melvin Ingram, tackle for a loss and a touchdown. That was a fumble recovery. Huge. Xavien Howard, pass deflection, which led to the interception. Zach Sealer, 1 pass deflection. And that's pretty much it in terms of defensive key stats. Jaeveon Holland, interception, return for 31 yards. Kick returns, not much going on there. Kicking points, we have Nick Folk with 1 extra point. Jason Sanders, 2 for 2 on field goals. 49 was the longest, and 2 for 2 on extra points. That's pretty much it. Aside from that, let's go over some key things. Did the Dolphins protect Tua like I had, pointed out? I want to say yes and no. There were a few plays that the pocket held up, and Tua was able to deliver a throw. Doesn't matter what happens after he's able to make the throw, as long as they give him the time to make the throw. Incompletion or not, completion or not, whatever it may be, he got the throw off, and that's honestly all you could want as an offense. And he was able to do that. There were a few plays designed, play actions, little fake handoffs, and then he starts rolling, and he's pretty much all by himself. We did allow pressure to get to Tua, and he made some errant throws. Luckily, nothing crazy that could have turned over the ball or so not. But you don't want that as much. You don't want to put your quarterback in a bad position where he can get lit up by, a star defense player like Matt Judon per se, because like he was in the backfield a lot, and definitely making Tua unhappy. Defensively, the Dolphins, no matter what the play call was able to put pressure on Mac Jones, which is entirely huge. You can protect your quarterback for a little bit, and then your team also puts pressure on the other team's quarterback is huge. Didn't bring him down too much, 2 sacks, but at the end of the day, he's making a lot of tough throws just because he has a defender right in his face, and that's something that Mac Jones was visibly unhappy with. I think he also ended up getting a minor injury to his back, so probably from trying to carry this Patriots team because they're not that good. Anyways, really liked what I saw, and hope more is to come. Now, what we have looking forward to is Miami Dolphins. I believe are going on the road next week, September 18th, to face the Baltimore Ravens at 1 p.m. in Baltimore. It's going to be a tough game. Love when the Dolphins play the Ravens with Lamar Jackson because, he's a Miami native, and it's a guy that's hard to root against, especially when he's cooking your team. Last time we played him was a great Thursday night game. Time before that, they literally obliterated us to open off the season. So, hoping to get some more revenge. That win last year on Thursday Night Football was not enough. I think this Dolphins team, they got to start off hot, and, getting a 27 win is huge. But then you follow that up with a win against Ravens, and then looking down the line, we have the Bills and Bengals to start off the season. You win possibly 3 of those 4 games, you're in a good spot to start off the year. So those are some things to look forward to. But a few more things to take away. Tyreek Hill's a beast. Waddle, the second he caught that ball, I already started doing a little waddle, and ended up being a touchdown. It was huge. Aside from that, Melvin Ingram is looking pretty good. Defensive line looking nice. There's a few pieces that, a lot of people outside of the Miami Dolphins organization, fan base, whatever you may want to say, will look at that defensive line and be like, oh, these guys are not really it, but they find a way. And given just one game, not too much to take away in terms of overreaction, but I did like what I saw, and there's more good things to come. So stay tuned, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. I did. And catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.